government, what you may call it, responses, or ramp up rather, I beg your pardon, ramp up, personnel in security agencies, which a lot of people have been crying out for years now. But anyway, that's a conversation for another day. But let's get to it. All right. The chairman of MOR local government area, Dr. Chidi Lloyd, condemned the recent attacks on Rivers State University students living near the MOR campus. Now, he clarified that the incident did not occur within the university premises. Now, to prevent further attacks, he said his administration will document all students living in the communities and their landlords. Now, Dr. Lloyd warned that once documentation is complete, any further attacks on students will attract sanctions, holding landlords responsible. Why you want to do that? But anyways.
What they are protesting is the harassment from some street urchins who reside in the communities. This incident happened sometime in 2003 when I was first chairman, and my attention was drawn to it. We quickly arrested the person who committed the offense. Henceforth, we shall document students and know where they live, know who their landlords are, so that any attack on any student, the landlord will be held responsible.
So, ladies and gentlemen, that's where our first conversation is hinged upon. You see, this is not the first time. It's not an isolated case. If you were in Uniport, let's say between, 1995 up until, when Jude started to go to school, 2011, you probably have heard of stories, of the quarrels that the communities back then, Choba community, used to have with some students. Something similar happened at Futo, when my cousin was in Futo. There were complaints of students being harassed by quote-unquote community members. In some cases, across the federation, there have been cases where the community leaders will say, and I think even Choba had that issue at one point in time, was it Choba Alakaya, where they said, we don't like the way the students are dressing. Henceforth, no girl should wear bomb short or bomb knicker. No girl should wear spaghetti or whatnot. If I'm not mistaken, I think that happened in Lakaya back in the day. I think was that 2009, 2010? Yeah, I think I was like year 2 then, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, that happened. And it wasn't only in Port Harcourt. Like I said, it's very commonplace. But I have always wondered, why do these things occur? Which is my question to you. Because if you've studied development, particularly in the Nigerian space, you will know that once a tertiary institution is cited, right, in any local government area, right, give that place 5, 6, 8 years. That place wears a new look. I was fortunate to be visiting Otueke when the Otueke University, initially started, its operation, right? And I remember seeing buildings being, developed and everything. Go and look at Otueke right now. It's a far cry from what it was. Or rather, is it a far cry? No, it's far away from what it was. Not a far cry, but far away from what it was when it first started. The hostels, people borrow money so that they can build, residential spaces, so that they can build, shops, so that they can build clinics, pharmacies, and whatnot to cater to students. It's little wonder why when the school is on strike, I'm using the University of Port Harcourt for example now, it's little wonder why when the students are not around, the place looks like a ghost town. Businesses literally wind down. Literally. They cannot wait for the students to come. Why? Because the students bring money. So if that quote-unquote symbiotic relationship is meant to occur between the community and the students, what exactly are the reasons why you have cases where the community will say the students are desecrating their land? The students will say the community people are restricting them. Sometimes fisticuffs get to come through. What exactly is the reason? Those of you who have gone through school, or those of you who are pretty good at, policy and, public analysis, I look forward to hearing from you this morning. As always, the numbers to call 0817 923 0002, 0817 923 0009. 0817 923 0002. 0817 923 0009. At Nigeria Info PH is where you find us on Facebook and X at Nigeria Info PH. Send us a text message if you can. The fact that you don't have a WhatsApp enabled for doesn't mean you cannot be part of our conversation. It's the same number. The number is 0809 030 6416. 0809 030 6416.
The views and opinions shared on this program do not represent the position of Nigeria Info FM. Nigeria Info, let's talk.
With Jude on 92.3 Nigeria Info.
Straight off the bat, we have Zion on the line with messages to get to read. To speak to Zion, who's speaking to us from GRA. Good morning to you, Mr. Zion.
Yeah, Mr. Jude, good morning.
Good morning, please.
We live in an era where politicians felt that the only means to bring development to their communities to cite the tertiary institution, which is so unfortunate and unlikely to be an environment that the people will reason normal. Now, for the comment credited to the MWA local government chairman, it's a total shame that a local government chairman cannot take up a responsibility, rather pushing it to the landlords. So, which means any student that want to rent my apartment, I have to send you back. Please go. I don't want you because I don't want anybody to come and put a bill to me.
Well, is that the way you see it? Because if I'm not mistaken, wait, hold on, Mr. Zion. For the sake of robust conversation, the comment he made was, okay, look, we'll have everybody registered. Let's identify everybody, which is not a bad thing. And then if there are skirmishes, let's also know where you are staying. Let's know if it's the landlord that's causing it, if he's touts. How is that a bad thing?
Sir, you have just deprived my child. You have invaded his privacy.
I get him identified.
Even profiling him that is living in Mr. Zion's apartment at Jude Street number 4. This is a problem. You can easily go and kidnap my child because you found that is Mr. Zion's daughter schooling in that place and that is where she lives.
I see.
You are a security officer there, a local government chairman. There are students here, there's a government facility here. What you need to provide. Forget about profiling. You see, one thing that pains me on daily basis, there are too many illiterates in governance in Nigeria. And they see no small harm. They are making this country to deficit. If it is a business now, we are running losses. So what do? We sack you. And we employ somebody that is competent enough to handle the business. You want to know who is the landlord of this house. The day you don't like me, you send somebody to come and rob that place and you demolish my house.
All right, so wait, Zion, let me ask you now. So that's one part of the conversation before I get to the next part, right? What then is the cause of these communal or conflict between students?
These are fundamental realities to a developing environment. Snatching of phones, stealings, and so on, because there is no security. What the local government chairman would have done is to charge the CDC, not the landlords. CDC. If there is any stealing of any student's phone here, I will hold you responsible.
All right.
My community benefited a lot from the state government, federal government, and even international agencies. That was years back. My father and his friends took the responsibility to protect these communities.
All right. Zion, thank you very much. We'll go on a quick break. Apologies there. So he had about 2 minutes and 45 seconds. So we another caller, but right after the break, please. believe was the year. Was it 98? Oh, I think it was 98. My cousin had just got into Futo back then. And there were a lot of to how current Futo was, or is rather, back then. You know, you had the schools, you had the hostel. And then, if you, those of you who went to Futo, you remember, the school had more hostels, more living spaces, more quarters or hostels for males than from females. In fact, if I'm not mistaken, I think only about 2 as at the time when my cousin attended Futo all those years ago. And so when we went to visit her, you know, I think it was for her matriculation, and you know, we carried food from Port Harcourt. You know, it was an amazing trip for us. You know, going to see our big sis. You know, who was not in the university. You know, Bobotigbo. You know, and this kind of thing. And we had a lovely time. But not too long after the Christmas of that year, she came home. She came to Port Harcourt and said, that place is rough. That why did she even pass very well to come to Futo? She could have just stayed in Lagos. I'm like, what's going on? Well, apparently, you know, the Ted, don't get back, wear trousers, you know, and my cousin was one of them. And so, you know, she used to get approached several times a day, a week. And so the women there, community leaders said, no, that these girls are trying to make, you know, this premises, you know, a place of harlotry. I didn't quite make much of it. I was pretty young. What did I know? Only for me to get to Uniport. And I remember very clearly, you know, yes, now my memory serves me right. I please, if you were a Uniport back in the middle of the 2000s, so that's be 2010 up to like 2015, you may have come across that. You know, it was a quiet communal, you know, thing or resolve in the Alakaya community. Back then, their vigilante was very, very effective. I don't know if they still have that vigilante service in Alakaya, but you know, whilst Choba community will be having issues, robbing here, you could almost never hear of that in Alakaya. The few times it happened, you probably have some investigations and maybe 1 or 2 people will be caught or arrested or whatever. But they were pretty strict. There was quote unquote a quiet curfew in Alakaya back then. You know, 11:30 was the mark, right? So if you're out by 11:30, the vigilante will say, where are you going to? Who are you? And then there was also don't put on your gen till past 12. Once it's 12 o'clock, off your gen for security purposes. All of these things, you know, at some point in time, you know, led to people saying, why? I'm an adult. Why are you restricting my movement? This and that. There were very clear, you know, rules that, you know, some of the students did not quite feel comfortable with. And let's not forget about, you know, in the West, you know, where some girls, you know, were told, because you are female in this our community, despite the fact that there is a university here, the fact that you are female, please don't walk past this road to go to school. This is where only Odogu men will pass. We don't like any other girls coming here. It was a cultural heritage site. Maybe it was rich. I don't know. But, you know, that also caused a problem. So, these things, this student community clash, why does it happen? And how can it be resolved? I'd like to hear from you.
The views and opinions shared on this program do not represent the position of Nigeria Info FM. Nigeria Info, let's talk.
Nigeria Info.
017-923-0007, 0817-923-0009, 0817-923-0007, 0817-923-0009. Please use these numbers. Call us. Talk to me. Let us know exactly how best to tackle this type of scenarios. And on WhatsApp, and you can also send a text. The number is 0809 030 6416. 0809 030 6416. Well, we have Kurt on the line. Kurt, good morning to you. JJ standing by in Port Harcourt. Good morning to you, Mr. Kurt.
Good morning, Jude.
Good morning, please.
That statement is understatement. It's a failure from the side of the government. If I may have somebody who made that statement, if landlord also been attacked, who did they hold?
Oh, that's a good question.
Who did they hold? The whole local government chairman, because he take allegiance to secure the property and life of Emma people. It's a failure because when Rivers State government promised us that they have about 24 billion to install surveillance camera in some places in Rivers State, but the last time I checked, there's no size that thing has found. You think about it, if surveillance camera was like this street light that is all over now, by now the footage of that camera could have been asked. The people who committed that crime, police could have started chasing them by now. All these small crimes could have been a thing to pass. Kid Lloyd is a failure from you people. I used to say that leadership is not all about certificate. It's not about being a professor. This things flow from a way of life. You don't have it, you don't have it. From federal government to local, I'll pay the people. You put the blame on the landlord. If you attack inside your car, now they will blame your car for you being attacked. People should sit up and do things right.
Thank you. Well, are you sure we're not misconstruing Chidi Lloyd's statement? Well, JJ is on the line from P Town. Good morning to you, Mr. JJ.
Yeah, Jude, I greet you this morning.
Welcome, please.
Yes. When companies, for instance, come into a community, all you need to do, if you have some traditions that you think as a result of people coming in to violate, all you need to do is to call for a meeting, maybe a town hall meeting. Like sometimes ago, we were working in a community they call Ekenwa in Edo State.
Oh, I know it very well.
They called all the workers for a town hall meeting and were given the do's and don'ts of the community.
Okay.
That nobody should play near their girls. Nobody should do this. I am telling you, bro.
What it concern work now?
You will not understand. You know, this seismic work thing, the first set of people that did that seismic work for oil site, whatever, they call them shell people, right? They said the first set of shell people that came to that community, Kenwa, Gelegele, and all those that came, that the wives left their husband for shell people because they have so much money. And the new generation in town are a product of such shell like this.
You don't mean it. Hey!
So this new shell that is in town, please stay away from our girls. That is even the cross the matter at that time. So we too, we zip up because they have told us. But if the community don't want these people, then they don't have a choice because this will bring development. By the time that school closed, go to even Choba, as big as Choba. When school don't close, you go know how far now. And Christmas period and all those activities are no longer there. So why can't you accommodate these people who have come to learn and also develop your place? Dude, before I go, I know a Moko guy from Benue State. He trained in Ogara. You know Ogara now?
Yes.
He built a house in Ogara and took Ogara now as his own town. There's somebody from Benue. So these people too can also fall in love with the place and come to the place and invest in future. You know Brutai? Brutai used to go to, is it part of Obakri, to celebrate New Year when he was chief of army staff. Because he had done one or two there before and he loved the place. That's why he goes there. So why can't these people accommodate people who have come just to stay for 4 years? Did they come to drag land?
Yeah, but hold on, JJ. You know, it's not just 4 years. Those institutions are there for all intents and purposes till eternity. You know, Uniport. Yes, you look at Unilag. A very good example was Futo, and even the one very close to Futo, Nekade. Now, so all of these communities, right, at some point in
Even you
time,
thought, yeah.
yeah, fine. So yes, we see that there's growth. A class says it doesn't make sense that people think that it's only when you send a school there that you have development. But now that there's something there, these skirmishes, these communal clashes, why do they keep reoccurring? It doesn't make sense.
The community people must open up for development and accommodate new people. Do away with all those primordial sentiment and allow people be. And the chairman saying that you are a landlord. This is the landlord that is supposed to provide security. What if the student was attacked on the road? So you now attack the road landlord or who? I bet we'll do our work. Thank you.
All right, JJ in Port Harcourt speaking to us this morning. Let's get to read your messages now. 0809-030-6416. 0809-030-6416. Now, this one says, good morning, Jude. It is not even a headache to me. It equally happened in my school. That was quite new then. It was a private institution, but the issue is purely psychological because human behaviors are unbelievably predictable. Humans are naturally resistant to change. So whenever students show up in a new school with new way of doing things, talking, dressing, the locals resist it, but with time they will blend and cohabit. It happened between the native Indies and Europeans that migrated to North America. It will still happen in 10 years' time if a new school is sited in Zambisa. Warren Rukwaku with that statement. Nice, interesting. All right, good morning, Jude. Dr. Prince Nelson says that Dr. Chichi Lloyd should resign for failing to protect the students in his LGA. Landlords are not security operatives, or whose is their duty to provide security to the people. Prince Nelson with that comment. Thank you very much. Jude, I don't know why leaders in this country trivialize issues needing urgent attention as it concerns the common citizens, which should be hinged on the fact that theirs is not part of that concern. Let the relevant authorities swing into the complaints of the students and not retain them for just their personal gains of their possible acquired assets to thrive. It beams on the line. Well, like I said earlier, it's not the first time this is happening. Even the good doctor made mention that it's happened, in the past. But as a way of challenging or mitigating this issue, it's going to have people be registered. Let's get to know, who is a student or not. But some of you are kicking against it. It doesn't need to do that, and it doesn't need to quote unquote hold landlords responsible. Well, what exactly? Maybe. Before we're all, casting aspersions here and, negating good local government chairman's, suggestion, maybe we need to find exactly what the role of the landlords are or is in this whole, debacle. Maybe there's something that you and I are not privy to. Charles is on the line from Bonny Island. We have John waiting for us on Ada George. Good morning to you, Mr. Charles.
Good morning.
Good morning, please.
In this part of the world, they will leave the bomb that part and start conking the head.
Hey.
What concerns a landlord and crime? The local government chairman has security allocated to him. They have security briefing with the police or army or whatever that is in local government. And a crime happens, they are holding the landlord. Is that not a failure already? These are pure failure that is governing us. If the government chairman is single, he should put logistics in place.
Okay.
Employ people that will do the work. Do the common, what do they call it when we are younger? People that used to cut grass in the local government.
Okay.
Council.
Yeah.
Popular town council in local government. We have security people that guide secondary and primary schools, in hospitals. There's no more again.
Okay.
All we have now is political power here and there. Okay, pay them for them to do the work. Still is a problem. You are holding the landlord. You are holding the PDC chairman. a poor man. You want them to go and kill him, that you are the one that harass us?
Well, but I don't think that was mentioned. But Charles, thank you very much. John, good morning to you. Welcome.
Yeah, good morning, Jude.
Good morning, Mr. John.
In case the local government chairman has failed in his responsibility of providing security, the host community where that school is situated must, as a matter of urgency, protect those students. Let me tell you, I am from a very rural area. We had one representative in the state there who brought a campus of my state university to my village. If you see what that campus has done to my community, you will not believe it. A house rent before now used to be 1,000 naira. Now, a second is going as much as 250,000. Almost all the front road now has become shop because students must buy things. So if the community think they want to leave the security of that place in the hands of the chairman to lose that school, and they'll go back to square zero, I can bet you now, Jude, what our local community did to those uniform students, they will never, ever live to forget, and they will continue to regret actions if they are not